Hello, this is Connor, and welcome back to another episode of From Ear to Instrument. This is episode 3, and we're going to be checking out one of my favorite songs, Kiss from a Rose by Seal. Pop music, really cool chord progressions, amazing vocals, the arrangement, everything about it is awesome. And of course I'm going to say that because why would I choose songs that I didn't think was really awesome? So yeah, I've been obsessed with this thing for a long time and stoked to transcribe it live, meaning that just by ear, I'll be figuring out the chords, the harmonies, the music theory on my guitar and notating it in my DAW in MIDI. So we'll be able to look at it in piano MIDI, guitar, and let's see what we can learn from this. So enough of me talking. Let's jump over to my DAW. And before we start actually transcribing it, I'm just going to play it. And let's just get it in our ears. I've got the intro here separate from the verse. It's a little bit unsynced with 132 BPM, so that's why I did that. No matter. So let's listen to it, and then I'll start breaking down my process to transcribing something like this. Let's go. Okay, so a lot going on there. There's at least 4 separate vocal harmonies that I can hear. A piano comes into the left stereo spectrum. At some point, there's a flute. I mean, the harmony isn't that clear, right? It's not just a piano just like playing some chords or a guitar just strumming some chords. The arrangement of all of the instrument and voices together are saying the harmony. So I don't want to spend too much time on the intro as we have a lot to get through, but let's start chipping away at this. So I'm trying to feel if I can sense anything at all, basically. Is there anything that stands out to my ear? And I'm trying to think as simply as possible, because often this kind of stuff is simple. So do any of the chords in there sound major or minor? Ba-ya-ya. So I was able to do that quickly because I could hear this is walking up from some note to a 2 to its flat 3. Wondering if my guitar is too bright with that pickup. Should be fine. So that sounds like that. So right away we got a root, a 2, and a flat 3. So I can basically make an assumption that this A flat here is a minor chord, right? I'm just adding a 5th to the chord because I've got a root, a 2, and a 3. So root and a flat 3 plus a 5. I'm just playing the root and the 5 here and putting the 3 up here. So then and I'm just putting a major chord underneath that because, sorry, I'm moving quickly. I'm making the assumption that the next chord is going to be in the key of the first chord. And the first chord is a minor chord, and commonly songs start on the tonic chord of the key. I just know this through experience, so sorry. That's what we got so far. So this is like A flat minor or G sharp minor. I'll be using that interchangeably, I'm sure. Into F sharp major. So let's just call it G sharp minor into F sharp major. For now, it doesn't really matter too much. The point is that this is a 1 minor chord. going into flat 7 major. And it kind of sounds like it. So I can hear like na 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 na. So there's a major third relative to that note that's being played in the bass there. So it's almost like this G sharp, A flat, whatever, switches to major. It's kind of like it's like sus4, unsus to major. 1 minor, flat 7 major. 1 major, sus4, 1. So if I voice these differently, let's get that like. That'd be like, right, that's too wide for me. So let's draw that in. I've got G sharp. What did I say? G sharp major. First one's minor, right? But then this went major. So I guess it's kind of like that. Gonna solo. So now I'm just going to play the melody over top of that and see how it sits. With my actual guitar turned on, I'm going to put a metronome on just to... Feels right to me. So let's continue. Now the principles so far, maybe I can even write this at the top. This is how you want to be thinking about this stuff, or else it gets confusing quickly. We always want to reduce the chords to their mathematical formula, basically. Thinking that there is a key, that key is the 1. Relative to this being the 1, the other chords have a numerical relationship to that 1. So this is like 1 flat 7 to 1 major, 1 sus4, 1 major, if you want to think about it that way. So lowercase is minor, flat 7, 1, da, da. So let's just do this so we can kind of see. And I believe it goes the whole way. Let's take a listen to that. Sorry about the metronome. Yeah, it sounds like the same chords the whole way, and it's just being harmonized a little bit differently each time. I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Sorry about this. I just want to make sure I'm actually getting audio. Okay, great. I've run into some issues before, so I just wanted to double check that. Before I stream for an hour and realize that no audio is being recorded. And if there's anyone out there, say hi. I've got the live chat there. Be cool to have this somewhat interactive, but I can also monologue all day about this stuff. So, okay. So, right. So. Let's do that. I'm just playing these chords in different places. Now I can play it anywhere because I know it's just in A flat. The G sharp and the A flat thing is messing me up. I'm not going to lie. So let's say A flat to G flat this time. So it's... Or I could play it anywhere there's an A flat. Or I could go... Or there's a G sharp somewhere around there would be like this. G sharp. Minor. Okay, well, let's continue into the verse.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen?
Okay, so I was listening to the bass the whole time. Learning to hear the bass frequencies and what the bass is doing tonally is going to give you a lot of information to what the chords are saying harmonically. The bass has a very important relationship with the chords, and commonly, I'm going to say, 80, 90% of the time, the bass note is the root note of some chord that's playing above, okay? And these notes all have a relationship to one another. So if we can identify the bass note, that's going to give us a lot of information to what the chord most likely is. So I'm going to play the bass note. Try to sing it.
There used to be a great. There used to be a great.
And then I'm going to hear that it falls.
There used to be a graying tower alone.
It comes back up again.
Sea. You became the light on the dark side of me.
So if we can find that note, I can basically, the lowest note I can sing is an E. So that's probably an E. So it's not far from E probably. So now I found the bass note and I can hear a guitar. If you have headphones on or speakers, it's in the right stereo field. And this chord feels there. Right? So then I take that melody, put it on top of the bass. Now I'm starting to get some information on what the chord is actually saying. So root note, or, I don't know what's the root yet, probably is. This is the 4, that's the 3. And the guitar's doing that in the right stereo spectrum. So it's like, it's basically just this bar chord that we've all played a bajillion times. Let's draw it in. So that's going to be A flat. I'm trying to think, how did I do it in the first time? Yeah, so I'm just doing bass note in the bottom. Just considering how I'm going to voice these chords for the... Let's play everything in 4 parts maybe. So in this case, that's going to be like this. D sharp and B, right? Sharp. So how I did that quickly, just so you're aware. I know what this chord, pardon me, the way that it's voiced, the arrangement of the intervals in the chord. And I know that this is a root, a 5, and then a 3 on top. So I went into my DAW, I found a G sharp, and then I went a 5th, and then I went a 3rd with the bass note in the bass. So it's essentially, it's literally the exact same way that it's played on guitar that I'm notating it in the DAW here. Okay, so that's that. Now, we want to listen to that bass note again. We know that the bass starts on F sharp. We know that the bass starts on G sharp now, and let's listen to see where it goes.
There used to be a graying tower.
So it goes pretty far.
There used to be a graying tower. There used to be a graying tower.
So, yeah, it's E. Let's draw in an E. Now, what kind of chord is that? Even before I listen to it and figure it out, we can start assuming some things right away. Why am I putting that on a C? It goes down to E. So this is the 1. Thus, this is the 7, flat 7, 6, flat 6. The bass is dropping from 1 to flat 6. In my experience, flat 6 is always major. It's a very common move, especially in minor keys. I mean, it doesn't happen in major keys. The flat 6 is major, basically. So I can just put a major 3rd in there, play the part, and then check.
Used to be a graying tower.
I'll take it from the top of here.
There used to be a graying tower alone.
Feels right to me. So I can put that major 3rd in there. If the bass note is an E, the 3rd will be a G sharp. So now we need to figure out what the other notes are. Let's put a 5th in it, because chords always have 5ths in them. If there's a 3rd, then we should be able to put a 5th in it. We're on E, so the 5th is B. There's 1 here, so I can play it like this. Let me actually play it correctly. I played B sharp for some reason. Right. Okay, so that's that. Let's put a B in it. That's an E. I always mix those guys up. B is here. Now, what's the voice doing?
Used to be a graying tower.
Ah, this is where E comes in. My mistake. This is like lasting.
Tower.
Then I just find those notes. Tower. Again, E is being played in the bass, so I can just put E down here, play these notes against it. All right, so this is the major 7. Here's E, major 7. This is the 9. And we already had a 3rd. So we get this E major 9 chord. I'm just taking all of the notes that are playing in that present moment, combining them together to figure out what the chord name is. We've got a root, a 3. We don't need a 5th, but let's say root 3, 5. Then we've got a 7 and a 9. So equals a major 9 chord. That's just what you'd call that. So we're on E. We need an F sharp for the 9, and we need a major 7. That's D sharp. I believe that's an E. D sharp. That's the chord. Okay. Thinking. I feel like I have an extra note in there that I don't need. The 5th. So this is how it's being played on guitar. Root in the bass, then the 9, then the 3, then the 7. That's just what it looks like, literally. Let's listen to it. All right, it's this guy. So then we need the bass is going up. So from flat 6, usually the bass will either go down to 5 or 4. It's just what it does commonly. But since it is going up and it's not hitting the 1, it must be hitting flat 7. So flat 7 relative to the key we're in would be F sharp. So there it is. See? F sharp. Put that there. What kind of chord is it? The flat 7's major, usually. So I can kind of assume that. And I can deduce that by playing its minor third, and that should give me some information. Because I know the first 2 chords now. So 1 major, flat 6, major 9. And we're going here. I'm going to put the... That's the minor third. It feels weird, right? That feels weird. So I know that that note's not in it, right? I can check in my experience that just doesn't belong there. But what if I add the major third instead? Yeah, that's feeling right. So I'm going to add that note in there. The bass note is F sharp. What is F sharp's major third? Is that thunder? It's A sharp. I know that because F's major third is A, so F sharp's major third is A sharp. That's how I did that quickly. Now we're going to tune into what other things are going on here. Listening to the voice now. So I've got this E flat to D flat. Now I'm going to play both of those notes against F sharp. This is the 6, this is the 5. We had the third. All right, so it's kind of like a major 6 chord. That's how you voice them here. So that sounds good to me. F sharp 6, C sharp, D sharp. I just went to its 5th and went up a whole step to get the 6. And we're missing, I'm voicing it like this on guitar. We get this now. Okay, so the principle so far, that's what we want to know. It's always what we want to know. 1, major, flat 6, major 9, flat 7, 6. There's probably some extensions on the 1 chord too. Let's maybe tune into that.
There used to be there.
Right, it's kind of like an add 11 chord because he's singing the 11. G sharp's 11 is C sharp. Let's put that in there. It's going to be close to that other note. It's more like this, technically. But he's like, nah. So let's just fix that. It's more like this. from now on, we'll just keep these major, assuming that that's what happens next, but let's check it out.
You became.
Let's take it from the top.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light.
So it's lasting this whole time, and to my ears, it sounds like it's just walking back up to 1. 1 is major in this case. I'm not going to get too much into the theory. I'll mention a bit about it. So it's almost like so far we're playing in a minor key. We're taking the chords from minor, like the flat 6 major and the flat 7 major chords, but we're playing a 1 tonic, a 1 major tonic chord. This is something called modal interchange, or borrowed chords. We're borrowing chords from, in this case, A flat's parallel mode. We're just borrowing the flat 6 and flat 7 chord, playing a 1 major. So in my mind, that's how I'm thinking about it. 1, flat 6, flat 7. There are extensions on the flat 6 and flat 7 chord, major 9 on the flat 6, just a major 6 chord on the flat 7. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So what's his voice doing? You. So again, how I'm deducing what that interval relationship is by playing the bass note and then just playing the notes and looking at it. Well, this is G sharp, that's G sharp, that's a 7. So he's singing the major 7 on top of the chord. So maybe I'll just add that in this time. So it's kind of like this now, right? See? You're gonna let it continue.
Became the light on the dark side of me.
It all just repeated. I can just tell.
Light on.
Again, listen to that bass.
You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains.
Yeah, he's hitting different notes there.
Love.
So I was able to get that quickly because he's done it a few times, which is sing the 11 down to the 3. I could hear it was a half step fall. We're in a major key, so it's either from the 1 to the 7 or the 4 to the 3. Those are the 2 times in a major scale that half steps appear. So I found G sharp, went to its 4, and then it's 3. Okay, so
Love remains a drug that's high and not the pill.
bass walk.
Drug that's high and not the pill. Drug that's drug that's high and not the pill. Drug.
So I can tell that the last note is landing on the tonic. Feel how it just feels so finished when we hit it.
Drug that's high and not the pill.
Right? We made it all the way. So we're starting from somewhere and returning home. And the question is, what is the first note that we're starting on? That'll tell us the...
Drug, drug.
So what I did there is I sang the note that's the bass is starting on. Then I sang the root. Then I sang the root up an octave. Then I went to the original note. Flat 7, 7, 1. So it's like we're starting on the flat 7. This chord sounds like we're probably landing on G sharp. So it's going to be that. let's draw that in. We're going to start on G sharp's flat 7th. There's G sharp. Mixed one of those up. Flat 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if I'm right. Up. So, bunch of ways to think about this. We could harmonize every chord with a chord on top. Sorry, every bass note with a chord on top. We can do 2 of them, but we're just going to take this one at a time. So we're going to assume that this is a chord. So it's like an F thing. Plus, let's listen to the actual song. Yeah. C sharp. That's the 4 of the key. Feels major. It's kind of like. That's hard to sing. So this is going to be C sharp. We need a C sharp. That's not a C sharp. We need a G sharp, and we need a 3rd, which will be C sharp's major 3rd, E sharp. Trippy stuff. Let's listen to it in isolation. That's doing it for me, at least. We don't need to get too deep into that. Exactly what they're doing, but that sounds like the chords to me. And we're going to finish. So. So that just hangs. But did you know that when it snows, notice that one. It's probably the 3rd. If you listen carefully, you can hear that violin doing that. But did you know that when it snows? So I know I'm on A flat. I know I have the 3rd there because I can hear it. I can hear that note falling down to the flat 3. So now it's minor. That's cool. Yeah, but did you know? Where's the 3 there? I don't know if that continues, but snows. He's singing. He's even singing the 3rd. My eyes become alive. Bop up. It must be E, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. So. My eyes become alive. Eyes become alive. That's cool. That one note's falling, but his voice is going up. Eyes become. My eyes become larger. So let's get that in there. So we're walking down. What chord are we on? Eyes become alive. Right, this is like E. Eyes become, eyes become, eyes become. Eyes become alive. F sharp now. Sorry about those audition notes. That's probably annoying. And then we need C sharp. Is anyone lurking in the stream? Please say hi. That would actually be cool that someone's actually saying hi to me while I do this instead of me doing it alone. Although I'm happy to do it alone too. I always have a lot of fun doing this. So what we're doing is figuring out the chords to Kiss from a Rose. By ear, I'm doing it on the guitar, notating it into MIDI, talking about the harmony and the principles behind it, how to think about it, fretboard visualization, this kind of thing. So we're just finishing up the pre-chorus now. We're about to get into the main part.
My eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen.
Then we go back up to the one tonic there. Ba, ba.
My eyes
E flat 6, F sharp flat 7,
the light
E,
that you shine
F
can't be
sharp,
seen.
G sharp. That's the tonic of the song. And he's singing the third for sure. My eyes become large and my eyes become large and sorry, I suck at singing. But we got the chords, and that is going to be a section there. So that was 1 to major 9. Oops, I'm just gonna snip you there. Okay. Great, chorus time. I'll play into it. So.
Light that you shine can't be seen.
Listen to that bass.
Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Okay, let's get into that. Bass, bass, bass. It's so important. So that's for sure just hitting the one of the song, the tonic chord, G sharp. Boom. And it sounds major this time. So he's singing the root and the 5, but so let's draw some of those in. So root 3, 5. So it's doing that thing again, right? Where it just goes down to flat 6 and flat 7. So we can just borrow those. So far, that's been the main theme of the song. For the verses, pretty much the intro too is a little bit different, but back to the one. Oops. So, 1, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Do, do. Right, and then this repeats. Do, do, do.
Light hits the gloom on the grave.
So this is the intro, which we figured out previous to it. We just did a little chunk of it, but let's slap it over here. The intro was 1 minor, flat 7, 1 major, and we're in the key of A flat, so it's going to be. Or we can play it down here. Or here. So how I'm actually able to do that, like how can I jump around the guitar so quickly and play the same thing in many different places? It's because I'm thinking about these chords as a principle. I know what key that I'm in. I know we're in A flat. So all of the A flats, so I can start the first chord on any of those. Like I can even play it here. And then I know I'm going to flat 7. It doesn't matter where. So anyway, just if there's anyone actually watching this, just demonstrating the importance of, if you don't know the notes on your guitar, it's really important to think about that stuff, even a little bit. Then you're free. You know, you can look at the guitar, think in terms of principles. I'm in A flat, so now you can just move from 1 to flat 7 anywhere you want. So good thing to know. Okay, so that's the intro. And I love that. Just gonna play over top of this for a sec. All right, enough of me playing around here. We got work to do. First, listen to that bass.
So much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby.
So he did that thing again with his voice where chord progression's the same. If you've been watching the whole thing, you may be able to tell that. So I'm so lost where I'm in the MIDI though.
Used to be a graying tower alone on the sea.
Let's borrow that because this is flat 6, flat 7, 1.
There is so much a man.
Right, that starts in 1.
There is so much a man.
Flat 6, flat 7, 1. So I'm going to grab you and put you there. Except that doesn't actually work because you're too long. Bop, bop.
There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You.
Right? You. So previously he did this. The chord is A flat, and he's singing. Sorry. Uh-oh. So he's singing this note over top of the chord. That's hard to reach. So he's singing the major 7 on top. So now it's kind of like one major 7 just for a second here. Let's just draw that in. We're in G sharp. Oh. This should be like that.
There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You.
I guess technically he's kind of doing this. Actually, no, you go up there. You come down here.
You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain.
Remember, listen to that bass always, guys. I'm gonna mute the piano.
You remain my power.
So he's walking up again, as he always does. This is hanging out, flat 6. This is like 1 major 7 going down to flat 6.
Power, my pleasure, my pain.
Right, does it every time. So far the arrangement, they're really sticking to that, tonic, flat 6, flat 7 thing. That's basically kind of the mood of the song so far. If you're out there lurking, please say hi. That would be cool. I'm also happy to just monologue. If you have any questions on how I'm doing this, since I'm just kind of by myself here, I'm doing everything pretty quickly. There's probably things that I'm doing naturally that maybe you want to know my thinking process behind, which I'm doing my best to explain in the process, but things get by. Okay, let's keep cruising.
Power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown-up.
I'm a little unsynced here, so just 2 seconds while I fix that. Let's just do that.
You're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby?
So even though I'm letting the song play, I'm always listening to the bass. I know I always say that. So we're here now.
You're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby?
This is doubling. Sorry. Did I move that too? Sorry, I'm getting lost in my stuff. 1 sec.
You're like a grown addiction that I can't.
Yeah, that moving that thing around tripped me up. Sorry, 1 sec.
You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows?
So that's that thing happening where he plays the 1 major
That when it snows,
and then makes it minor.
that when it
So we're on a G sharp chord or A flat, whatever. This is the note.
that when it snows,
So it's like, and then always here they're going, walking up. Flat 6, flat 7, 1. If any of you have played Mario, this is like totally a side quest. I'm just going to go on for a second. Played Mario, when you jump on the flag. I haven't played these arpeggios honestly in years, but let's see if I can actually get them. That sound. Is exactly what we're playing here. It's the sound of, you're in a major key, you play flat 6 major, flat 7 major, 1. That's the sound of jumping on a Mario flag, in case you wanted to know that.
that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can.
So, bop, bop.
Eyes become large and the light
Flat 6,
that you shine
flat 7.
can be seen.
1 always goes to 1 there. Here's a 1 chord. Let's flap it in. So let me get into some stuff there. Sorry, I'm clipping. Let's get back to that chorus.
Baby, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
So to my ears so far, nothing's actually new. It's just all the same stuff. So just gonna take it from here. I'll draw it in since I did everything else. So E. You go up to F sharp. This is an E chord. We need an E. We need a G sharp. We need a B. This chord's repeating up a whole step.
I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Yep.
A light hits the gloom on the grave.
So something new is happening here. I'm going to reset. How do I do that and make it pretty? Kind of like that. No. No. You go away. You go there. But we actually want to snip you and do dot, pop. So we're in time. I'll let this section play. Let's get it in our ears, and then we'll take a look at it.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should kiss by a rose on the grave, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much
Interesting section. Sounds like to me it does the same thing every time. So tune into that note. Ba.
I've been kissed by a rose on
Da da ba 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 ba. That's a fifth. Yep. So
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave.
So it's almost like we're in F sharp now. Ba, ba. So he stays there. Sounds major. So we need a C sharp, F sharp, third. I'm just listening to the guitar in the right headphone. I've been. Sounds pretty majory to me. So this is gonna hang out. Then remember, this is going to 5. What is F sharp's 5? C sharp. You can do that quick if you know F's 5. F, G, A, B, C. F to C is its 5th. So F sharp to C sharp is its 5th. And that's one trick that you can do anyway. So, and he's going up to C sharp. So I'll do the same. C sharp. He's falling down to 4. I'm in the key of F sharp. 4 will thus be B. Because this is what, if you're not aware, this is what... So if this is a root, a fifth looks like this visually. Like if I do this shape, I'm playing a fifth. This note is the fifth of this note. If this is the fifth, that's the fourth. This is what fourths look like on guitar. So I'm playing 1 major, and we're going to 5. We don't know if it's major or minor yet, so let's listen to that carefully. Sorry, I have my piano playing. My bad. To check, I can play either the major or the minor third. If it feels really off, then it's probably not that note. So I'm going to play the minor third of the 5. I know the language may be getting kind of strange. I'm thinking F sharp is the 1, C sharp is the 5. So I want to play the minor third of this chord, because then that'll tell me if it sounds good, then I know, this chord is minor. And if it sounds bad, then I know, it's probably the other third. So where's the third of this guy? There's 1 there, or I can play it there. So I'll play from the top. I've been kissed by a rose. I've been kissed by a rose. Doesn't sound good. I'll try the major third now. I've been kissed by a rose. That feels better. I'm just adding a fifth and then adding a third. It's this common C sharp major chord that you probably know. So let's draw that in. We need a C sharp. We need a third. C sharp's third, everybody. E sharp, that's right. G sharp. And then where's this guy going? It feels pretty major to me, so I can just guess. Sounds like B. This is a major chord, so I can just copy it and drop it down again. And where's the bass going? I've been kissed by a rose. Yep. And if I should kiss by a rose, same thing. I've been kissed by a rose. Where's that going? Been kissed by a rose. It's like, because before it was like. That's cool. It just goes right back into the 1 chord of the song. That's interesting. Okay, great. There is so much a man can tell me. There it is again, flat 6, flat 7. It's just the thing that this song does, people. So, but let's draw that out. Tell me so much you can say. Probably go to 1. There's the major 7. Flat 6, flat 7. Ooh, that's cool. What is that? I'm just gonna line this up again. Let's do this. It's a little bit out of sync. We want that. Oopsie doodle, you're not that long. Kind of cut it there. So for these kind of things, let's listen to it a bunch. So it doesn't feel major to me. It almost feels minor 11th-y, dominant sus thing. Feels really open. Doesn't feel like it has a third. Extensions, 9s, 11s type thing. So then I can start chipping away at it. Any note that stands out clearly to my ear, I can find and then remember that that's in it and then try to hear other notes. So So the most obvious one is. So then I find that. F sharp. So I've got an F sharp, I've got a C sharp, and I've got a G sharp. Kind of sounds like that. It's like F sharp with a 2 in it. F sharp. Kind of feels like this thing. Anyway, I'll draw the notes into MIDI to help me. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. Is there anything else? There's one other flippin' note in there. Is that it? Is that it? It's like... B flat thing. So if you just jumped in to the stream, I'm trying to figure out this chord in particular. Sorry to get blasted with it a bunch, but that's what you got to do when there's something that's ambiguous like this is. It doesn't sound clearly major or minor, so then what we did is we went through one at a time to see what notes we could hear easily. So I'm just going to let this play a couple times. So I hear and then and so I got those three notes, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. I drew them in, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Now I'm missing one note. And then I'm assuming that it might be some sort of G sharp thing. Like if I put G sharp in it, I already have a G sharp. Right, if I put an F sharp in it. G sharp 11, flat 7. Maybe we need a 9 instead. Maybe it's one of those 11 chords. Like it's called a 9 sus4 chord, so let's put what did I say? G sharp, A sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp. Aha. So that makes sense. We're in the key of A flat or G sharp, however you want to think about it. Doesn't really matter. And a common place for these kind of chords to go, they're called 9 sus4 chords. Commonly, you'd hear them in something like this. like in a 2/5. So this is 2. I'll do it in the key of C. 2, so D minor. This usually goes to G7 to C major 7. But I can play 2. Rather than going to 5 dominant, you can play 5 sus. So we take the 3rd out and we put a 4 in it instead, and we put a 9 in it and a flat 7. So it's like root, flat 7, 9, 11. Very common move to get the same pull somewhere where you need to go without the strong feeling of a dominant chord. So we're in this key of G sharp, and it sounds like this is what we got going on here. It's voiced a little bit differently, but to my ears that sounds correct. So let's move on. If you're new in the stream, say hi. If you got any questions about the process that I'm doing, we're taking a look at Kiss from a Rose. I went by ear, and that's what I've done so far. Just written out all the chords in MIDI format, figured it out on the guitar, talked about the harmony. And yeah, so we're getting near the end of the song now. Let's keep cruising. So this is the same thing that the song has been doing all the time. It always goes flat 6, flat 7, 1 in this kind of thing. That's the pre-chorus anyway. Let's see if it does that again. Come on, listen to the bass notes. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows? So this is where the tonic changes from major to minor. Sorry, I suck at singing. Did you know? Let me try to sing that. Is that healthy, baby? But did you know? Did you know? Did you know that when it snows? So that note that he's changing is the 3rd of the chord. So it's changing the actual tonality of the chord, which is awesome. I love doing that. That when it snows. So it's like 1 to 1 minor. We're on G sharp. There's the 3rd. That when it snows, my eyes become a large, and the light that you shine. Eyes become a large, and the light that you shine can't be seen. Here we go, chorus. Baby, I can feel you to a kiss from a rose on the green. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Baby, I can feel you to a kiss from a rose on the green. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, I like. Intro. The intro was a pretty cool thing. So we started on a major tonic. Let's start on a minor. Flat 7. the song ends. Man, the tone of that guitar sounds so good.
Now that your rose is in bloom,
We need more music.
your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Nice and simple last chord. If there's a third in it, just sounds so open. Wow, what an arrangement. So there was basically, I don't know, I'll go very briefly through a summary of what we went through today. The song started off in G sharp, but minor. Then we went to flat 7, F sharp in this case, and then to 1 major. Sus 4, 1, minor, flat 7, 1, sus 4 thing. Then the verse starts here on the 1 major chord, but then we go down to flat 6, E relative to A flat. So I'm gonna flip those up constantly. G sharp, A flat, whatever, same note. We're going down to flat 6 with all the extensions included. Got a major 9 chord going to flat 7, 6 to 1, sus 1. That's kind of the main thing of the song. Or you could think of the 1 chord as being an add 9 chord, whatever. So add 11. So 1 add 11, flat 6 major 9, flat 7 6, 1 add 11. I wonder if I can actually get that voicing. It sucks that add 11 chords are so hard to play on guitar because I love the sound of them, but that goes many times until we get into the chorus where it does the same thing again. Bunch of times. I mean, that's basically the song right there. It's always just doing that. Sometimes this, the tonic switches tonalities. And there was an interesting chord that occurred, which was this G sharp 9 sus 4 chord. I can't quite get a good voicing of it I like, but it's being played on the 1 as a principle. Okay, that's a wrap. That was fun. So yeah, I'll be doing this weekly. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, if you're a guitar player or any musician at all and you want to improve on your instrument, developing your ear is the path towards that. And I just speak from experience. I always learn so much every time I do this as well. You know, familiarizing myself with the sound of chord movements. So the next time that I hear them, I can recognize them more quickly. This is useful in jamming settings, composing, improvising. It's beneficial to so many aspects of being a musician and a player. So thanks for checking it out. My name's Connor. I'll be back next time with episode 4. If you have any suggestions of songs that you'd like me to transcribe, I would absolutely love that. So feedback is more than welcome. And I'll see